ask you a little biography first. You were born in San Francisco, I understand.
Right. 1940, November 27th, Sagittarius.
Ah. A diplomat. And you moved to Hong Kong shortly after?
Yes, when I was 3 months old.
3 months old, you moved to Hong Kong.
Yes.
And you were educated in Hong Kong?
Partly, when I was, up to around 18 years old, I moved back to the States, and I was attending the University of Washington in Seattle.
I see. What was your major?
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Philosophy, man.
Beautiful. I understand you were a child actor in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I started acting when I was around 6 years old.
What kind of things did you do?
Well, mainly unimportant things.
They're very important to me. For instance,
up to around when I was 18 years old, I did something like, a co-starring role. Other than that, it's kind of like, not that important.
Were you in things with your father?
Well, no, not really. My father was in the Chinese opera. A completely different thing, and I never did like that,
Yeah.
I rather like, to watch the Lone Ranger,
I understand your father was fairly famous in the Chinese opera.
Yes, he was.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he passed away in 1965.
What was his name?
Lee, L-E-E, and then H-O-I, C-H-U-E-N, no, wait a minute, C-H-U-E-N, that's right, Chuan.
I see. How many languages do you speak?
Well, Cantonese,
yes,
English, and a little bit of Mandarin.
I see. And you make your films now in Chinese, I understand.
In Mandarin, yes.
In Mandarin they're made.
Yes.
I see. Was your mother in the theater too?
No, she isn't.
No?
No.
What is your nationality? What do you feel your nationality is?
U.S., of course, because I hold a U.S. passport.
I see.
And, as soon as I finish with all these, things here, I would like to move, back and, just stay there,
You will move back to the U.S.?
Yeah.
May I ask, what is your height? How tall are you?
5'7.5".
7.5. And your weight?
140.
140?
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. What is your religion?
None whatsoever.
None. Do you believe in God?
To be perfectly frank, I really do not.
Okay. Did you ever have any other jobs besides being an actor?
Yes. I was teaching martial arts.
In the United States?
Yes.
In San Francisco or Los Angeles?
Well, I had 3 schools, one in Oakland, one in Seattle, and one in Los Angeles. And then later on, I just closed them, and just taught private lessons.
What were they called?
My type of martial arts.
Well, you're in Jeet Kune Do?
Yes, exactly.
I see. Is that what the school is called, the Jeet Kune Do school?
Well, actually, I do not believe in schools, I don't know whether you have read my Black Belt magazine article.
Yes, I have.
You have. Well, more and more I believe, here is you have 2 hands and 2 legs. And the thing is how to make good use of yourself, and that's about it. Style kind of restricts you to one way of doing it, and therefore limiting your human capacity,
I see. You said in Black Belt that man, the living creature, the creating individual, is always more important than any established style. Does this mean that you change your style all the time in karate?
I mean this. I mean that man is always in a learning process, whereas style is a concluding, established, solidified something,
Yeah.
You cannot do that, because you learn every day as you grow on.
When did you begin studying the martial arts? At what age?
When I started?
Yes.
13.
13. Did you study with any famous sensei?
Well, I studied under this YIT-MAN. Chinese, it's a Chinese art, you know.
That is the name of a man or the name of the art?
The name of my instructor.
Oh, I see. And what form of the martial arts was that?
The style is WING and then CHUN.
Uh-huh. And is that anything, is that a Chinese form of karate?
Well, actually, you cannot call it a Chinese form of karate because karate came after the Chinese kung fu. I mean, it's Chinese kung fu, actually.
Oh, it's kung fu.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, all these, karate and all these things came after that.
I see. Have you ever been married? Are you married?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I got 2 kids.
You do what you do. How long have you been married?
Oh, I've been married now for around 9 years.
9 years. What is your wife's name?
Linda.
Linda. Is she Chinese or American?
She's American.
She's American. What are your hobbies? What do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax?
Yes.
Work. and work out and doing the things that I want, like making movies and things like that.
How many hours a week do you spend practicing Jeet Kune Do?
Average around 2 hours a day.
About 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Is there a difference? You said something in the Black Belt article that there's no difference between a Japanese martial artist and a Chinese martial artist who come to Jeet Kune Do. Could you explain?
Well, you see, like many people come to an instructor. Most of them, they say, hey man, like, what is the truth? Would you hand it over to me? So therefore, one guy would say, now, I'll give you my Japanese way of doing it. And then another guy would say, I'll give you the Chinese way of doing it. To me, that's all baloney, because unless they are men with 3 hands, or they are men with 4 legs, then there are different ways of doing it. But since we only have 2 hands and 2 legs, nationalities don't mean anything. I mean, these, you can say there are different approaches, But we certainly must not limit to one approach.
Yes.
We must approach it with ourselves. Art is the expression of ourselves. Whereas if you go to a Japanese style, then you are expressing the Japanese style. You are not expressing yourself, you see.
You also say that life is a constant process of relating in talking about Jeet Kune Do.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, because, for instance, when I see a Japanese martial artist, I can see the advantage and I can see the disadvantage. In that sense, I'm relating to them, you see. And man is living in a relationship. And in relationship, we grow, you see.
Yes. But this philosophy that you have, doesn't it go against much of what is taught in martial arts by normal instructors?
Well, I guess because, see, most of them, they are so doggone stubborn,
Yes.
I mean, 200 years ago, I am taught like this, therefore, I mean, if you maintain that type of attitude, I mean, you had it. I mean, we will be still back in, I mean, we will never grow because, I mean, learning is discovering things. It's a constant discovering thing. Whereas if we follow the old method, it is a continuous repetition of what is being handed down several hundred years ago.
You said that at age 18 in 1940 you returned to the United States. You came back to where, Los Angeles?
In where now?
1958, you came back to Los Angeles?
1959, I went to San Francisco first. And then I went up to Seattle.
Oh, that's right. Then you went to school. When did you become a professional actor?
That's a very funny story. Because when I went back to the States, I really didn't think, I mean, I said, I mean, here I am with a Chinese. I mean, not prejudice or anything, but really in realistic thinking. How many times in film is a Chinese required?
Right.
And when it is required, it is always branded as the typical, dang, that type, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I said, hell with it, However, in 1964, in Long Beach, body. I gave a demonstration.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, William Dozier was doing the Batman and, and he saw it. So, he signed me up, and I did the Green Hornet, and then I went on and, did that Long Street.
Now, how long did the Green Hornet series last?
It lasted for one season.
That's all. I thought it was longer than that.
Yep.
And then it went into rerun in the Orient and did much better than it did in this country, did it?
Well, in a way, it established me here in Hong Kong.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And then you stayed in the States, did some Long Street episodes, and then...
Did you see the one that I taught James Franciscus?
No, I didn't see that. I heard about it, though.
Chance to,
Yeah.
When you get a chance to,
Uh-huh.
ask Paramount to show it to you.
All right.
Because it's worth seeing, really, because, that one, Sterling Silverphone, Him and I, we sit down and we wrote that thing together,
You and James Franciscus?
Yeah. The first one. It's called, in fact, the name is called The Way of the Intercepting Fist. That's the name of the episode.
Oh. Okay.
They asked me, to go back, to do a television series.
Uh-huh.
Warner Brother was committed, they were offering me $25,000 to hold me to do a television series.
This was after Green Hornet.
Do it,
Uh-huh.
Then I went back to Hong Kong in 1971 and did a movie called The Big Boss.
Right.
And the damn thing just broke the all-time record.
Now, Big Boss was produced by Raymond Chow,
Yes,
and the director was Lo Wee.
yes.
How much did the film cost to make? Do you know?
How much it cost to make that film?
Yeah.
Very cheap.
What is very cheap?
Around 500,000 Hong Kong, which is like less than 100,000 US.
And how much did it make? What was?
It grows in Hong Kong alone. Let's see, around 500,000 US.
Wow.
Now, so it broke all-time record, and then, all the time before, Chinese flicks were kind of like, unrealistic and
Yes.
really, overacting and a lot of these jumping around and, not, well, anyway, all in all, it's not real, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I came back and I introduced some few elements into it, which is like, when I kick, I really kick and, and all that, well...
Isn't that dangerous?
Let me say this. Ultimately, martial art is expression of oneself.
Uh-huh. And in your films, do you express yourself?
Huh?
You express yourself in your film?
Yep. Honestly, and as much as I can,
Uh-huh.
I did that, and then it was a huge success. And then the second...
Wait, before we leave Big Boss, where was Big Boss filmed? Was that filmed in Hong Kong, too?
Oh, it was filmed in Bangkok. And so the next one came out, and it broke the first one by over a million.
Ah. Now tell me, was Lo Wee the director on Fist and Fury?
Yes.
And was Raymond Chow again the producer?
Huh? Was
Raymond Chow producer of Fist and Fury? Who produced Fist and Fury?
Today, we're shooting today on location.
Uh-huh.
And we are picture is called Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, and it's my company that is producing it, and I'm directing it.
Uh-huh. And before we leave Fist and Fury, how much did Fist and Fury cost to make?
The Fury is around 800,000 Hong Kong.
Which would be, what is it?
Over 100,000. Under 200,000 US.
Uh-huh. And how much did that gross altogether?
It grows close to $1 million US.
1 million.
Hong Kong alone.
Now, where else will it play besides Hong Kong?
Well, the Big Boss, the first one, all-time record in Hong Kong and Singapore. In Thailand, Fist of Fury is doing the same right now in Singapore. And this one I'm doing now. It's not yet, released, but I have every inch of confidence that it's going to break the previous three.
Now, Enter the Dragon is your new film, and you're producing this yourself.
Chuck Norris, you know Chuck Norris?
I know the name.
Well, he is also in it.
Uh-huh.
We shot the location in Rome.
What is the plot of Enter the Dragon?
Well, it's really a simple plot of a country boy, you know, going to a place where he cannot speak the language, but somehow he came out on top because he honestly and simply expressed himself by beating the hell out of him. And listen, say, I gotta go now because my lunch break is over. And we have to start shooting. My producer just say that I don't even have time to eat my lunch now.
Answer me just a couple quick more. Will your films be dubbed into English?
Well, let me say this, that Warner Brother might be co-producing a film with us, and I am planning to do some films strictly in English. And I really have a feeling that it's just a matter of time that it will reach the States.
I see.
You know, the Italian flicks, you know, like Clint Eastwood type of a thing.
And in the article in Black Belt, it said that you had been challenged by a lot of people who wanted to make their reputation by beating Bruce Lee. Is that still true?
Oh, yes. Every damn day. In fact, the one who challenged me became a movie actor himself.
Who's that?
Company beginning to hire him, you know. And of course, somebody, you know, he was punched out by somebody after the film. They got into a fight. I mean, people challenge me, right?
Right.
They don't like it, so somebody else challenged the guy who challenged me. I mean, it's like that type of a thing.
Do you enjoy being an actor?
Yes, every inch of it, because it's my way of expressing myself. You know, I mean, it's a phenomenal way, which is it never happened before. Like whoever, you know, got me to sign a contract with another company, they will be getting, as a middleman, they will get $10,000 US. Can you believe that? I mean, it's getting to be like, I don't even believe it myself.
Really? How has your life changed? Have you changed since you've gotten successful? I understand you're a cult figure in Hong Kong. You're very famous there.
Well, it's changed in a sense that it's like I'm in jail, you know what I mean?
Really? Like what?
I am like a monkey in the zoo, you know, people looking at me and things like that. And basically, I like simple life and I like to joke a lot and all those things, you know, but I mean, I cannot, you know, speak as freely as I, you know, could before because misinterpretation comes in and, I mean, you know, all kinds of things. But it hasn't changed me, basically, because I know that in my process of being born and going to die, something happened which is breaking some record. I mean, which to me, it doesn't mean anything, you know. I mean, it's just something that happened. I mean, it didn't give me any, you know, that I'm proud or I'm any, you know, better than I ever was. You know, I'm just the same damn old shit.
Your lifestyle in Hong Kong, do you have your own home or do you live in an apartment?
No, I just bought a beautiful house, I have to say. That changed, you know. And
how big a house did you buy?
Huh?
How big is it a big house?
Well, let's just say that it's very comfortable.
How many rooms?
Upstairs there's around 6.
And downstairs?
There's 3.
How much did it cost?
Well, let's not quote prices.
Okay. One thing, in 1969 you had a highly publicized TV demonstration in Hong Kong. Had you already signed the contract to make the film? It was 1970.
Yeah. I did, you know, they dangle in the air 5 1-inch boards, and I side-kicked it and broke 4 of them.
Huh?
Suspended in the air.
And, when you return to the United States, will you live in Los Angeles? Or?
No, well, yeah, right.
You were living in And where did you live in Los Angeles last time you lived here?
I beg your pardon.
Did you live in Los Angeles last time you lived here?
Wait, I couldn't hear you.
Did you live in Los Angeles when you lived here before?
Yeah, I stayed in Los Angeles since 1965.
I see. Who was your agent when you were here?
I really didn't have agents, you know, in the sense that most of them is, you know, through my teaching that I got my job.
Oh, I see, through your teaching.
And listen, say, I gotta go now because my lunch break is over. And we have to start shooting. My producer just say that I don't even have time to eat my lunch now.
Answer me just a couple quick more. Will your films be dubbed into English?
Well, let me say this, that Warner Brother might be co-producing a film with us, and I am planning to do some films strictly in English. And I really have a feeling that it's just a matter of time that it will reach the States.
I see.
You know, the Italian flicks, you know, like Clint Eastwood type of a thing.
And in your in the article in Black Belt, it said that you had been challenged by a lot of people who wanted to make their reputation by beating Bruce Lee. Is that still true?
Oh, yes. Every damn day. In fact, the one who challenged me became a movie actor himself.
Who's that?
Company beginning to hire him, you know. And of course, somebody, you know, he was punched out by somebody after the film. They got into a fight. I mean, people challenge me, right?
Right.
They don't like it, so somebody else challenged the guy who challenged me. I mean, it's like that type of a thing.
Do you enjoy being an actor?
Yes, every inch of it, because I mean, it's my way of expressing myself. You know, I mean, it's a phenomenal way, which is it never happened before. Like whoever, you know, got me to sign a contract with another company, they will be getting, as a middleman, they will get 10 grand US. Can you believe that? I mean, it's getting to be like, I don't even believe it myself.
Really? How has your life changed? Have you changed since you've gotten successful? I understand you're a cult figure in Hong Kong. You're very famous there.
Well, it's changed in the sense that it's like I am in jail, you know what I mean?
Really? Like what?
I am like a monkey in the zoo, you know, people looking at me and things like that. And they basically, I like simple life and I like to joke a lot and all those things, you know, but I mean, I cannot, you know, speak as freely as I, you know, could before because misinterpretation comes in and, I mean, you know, all kinds of things. But it hasn't changed me, basically, because I know that in my process of being born and going to die, something happened which is breaking some record. I mean, which to me, it doesn't mean anything, you know. I mean, it's just something that happened. I mean, it didn't give me any, you know, that I'm proud or I'm any, you know, better than I ever was. You know, I'm just the same damn old shit.
Your lifestyle in Hong Kong, do you have your own home or do you live in an apartment?
No, I just bought a beautiful house, I have to say. That changed, you know. And,
how big a house did you buy?
Huh?
How big is it a big house?
Well, let's just say that it's very comfortable.
How many rooms?
Upstairs there's around 6.
And downstairs?
There's 3.
How much did it cost?
Well, let's not quote prices, you know.
Okay. One thing, in 1969 you had a highly publicized TV demonstration in Hong Kong. Had you already signed the contract to make the film? It was 1970.
Yeah. I did, you know, they dangle in the air 5 1-inch boards, and I side-kicked it and broke 4 of them.
Huh?
Suspended in the air.
And, when you return to the United States, will you live in Los Angeles? Or?
No, well, yeah, right.
You were living and where did you live in Los Angeles last time you lived here?
I beg your pardon.
Did you live in Los Angeles last time you lived here?
Well, I couldn't hear you.
Did you live in Los Angeles when you lived here before?
Yeah, I stayed in Los Angeles since 1965.
I see. Who was your agent when you were here?
I really didn't have agents, you know, in the sense that most of them is, you know, through my teaching that I got my job.
Oh, I see, through your teaching.
Yeah, I was teaching, like, you know, James Coburn, Sterling Philippon, Steve McQueen, and all those guys.
You were teaching them Jeet Kune Do?
Yeah.
And this was when you were acting or before?
It was during and before.
When you were doing the Green Hornet series or before?
During the Green Hornet.
You were teaching them Jeet Kune Do then. Were they good pupils? Hello, were they good pupils?
Well, yeah, they were all right. I mean, you know.
Let me see. Do you still do that? Or now you're too busy?
Oh, I could because, I have to work every day. In fact, listen, I gotta make it.
Okay, on this film you're working on, are you director?
My producer is using, so kick the hell out of me right now.
In Enter the Dragon, are you the director?
Yes.
And the actor star?
I'm the actor, the producer, and the whole bit.
Did you write it?
Yes, I screenplayed it.
Are you producer?
Yes,
And you star in it, I see.
yes.
Okay, when will that be out?
It will be out probably Chinese New Year.
When is that?
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
how did you come to think of writing an article in Esquire? I mean, how?
I wrote an article for another magazine about karate and heard about you, and then I mentioned to somebody at Esquire, and they liked the idea, so they said go ahead and talk to him.
Hey, listen, when it is out, could you mail me one?
Yes, for sure. Do you want me to send it to the Kowloon address?
Yeah, send it to the Golden Harvest.
Right, right. Is that the name of your production company? Is that your company, Golden Harvest?
No, not that one.
What is the name of your company?
For now it will do,
What is the name of your company?
Concord.
Concord, right.
Yeah. Hey, when will it be out?
I hope probably in the fall.
In the fall, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Very good.
Thank you for calling.
Well, thank you very much.
I gotta make it.
Okay.
And, good luck and all that, okay?
Thank you. Goodbye.